the Liberia broadcasting system. Next is Flashpoint.
Okay, thank you. Good morning and welcome to Flashpoint, the voice of national unity. And I'm David Cote. We are here on every Friday, beginning at 10:30 to 11:30. This is a 1-hour program, and it is held on every Friday, like I said. And today we have in studio a very important guest, or two very important guests, and they are here to talk about national issues. I'm here with Madam Joetta Newville-Wento, and she's the head of the National Road Fund of Liberia, and also Mr. Emmett Coke. He's the PR, right? Am I?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to the both of you.
Thank you, Honorable Kotsi.
Okay. Thank you. Let's start first of all by talking a little bit about the National Road Fund. I'll start with you, Madam Wento. Can you please tell me a little bit about the Road Fund?
Well, good morning, Honorable Koti, and good morning to my people in Radio Land. I'm Josita Nouvelle Wento, and I'm the manager of the National Road Fund Office of Liberia. Well, the National Road Fund became, initially it was a concept, and we were fortunate to have it develop into legislation and then pass into law in 2016. It was not until 2018, May of 2018, that it became operational. So the purpose of this road fund was for government to strategize a method or a mechanism to put some money aside that will be used specifically for roads and bridge maintenance programs and their associated activities. And through the process, series of fund generation was developed, one of which is through the fuel levy. The fuel levy is a small tax that is placed on every gallon of petroleum product imported into the country, and that fee is a 30-cent fee. Now, with the operationalization of the collection of revenue, the Liberia Revenue Authority collects on behalf of the National Road Fund from the LPRC and then deposits that fund into the government consolidated account. So when that money is in the government's consolidated account, we then do a request and we have access to the fund. But prior to us having access to the fund, there is a framework document. It's called the Annual Road Maintenance Expenditure Program. And that program is developed in consultation with the road fund manager and the implementing agencies. So this law that established the road fund in 2016 gives authorization to the road fund to disburse funds to the Ministry of Public Works and the Ministry of Transport, because they are considered the implementing agencies responsible for roads work, the safety and the likes. So according to law, we disperse to those two agencies. And so every year, both the Ministry of Transport and the Ministry of Public Works develop their yearly plan. That is what they intend to accomplish or achieve during that year. And then we have something called the Technical Working Group. These are people with, different technical backgrounds. We have engineers, we have finance officers, we have people with program and project related background, and all of them form part of this meeting. We even have some of the representatives from, the Ministry of Finance, some of them from the Ministry of Transport, Public Works, and the Road Fund. So this technical body review the plan and critique the plan based on performance. And at the end of this activity, a draft yearly plan is then sent to my office, the fund manager.
Okay.
So then I review that plan and then forward it to the board that manages the operations, the oversight responsibility of the administrative structure.
Okay.
And once the board approve that through a board resolution and by signing on the budget, then we have an approved document that we can start implementing programs and other activities as it relates to the implementation of what Public Works or the Ministry of Transport hopes to achieve during that year.
Okay. Now, what has been happening at the fund? What has been happening? I mean, is everything going well?
Well, Honorable Koti, I always say that it's a privilege to serve my country. This is a long-term aspiration. This is a long-term vision to be able to serve. So I'm fortunate to be in this role to serve the country. At the Road Fund, there are a lot have been going on. First of all, I would like to look at the strengthening of our in-house capacity, the staff that we have in-house. So over the last couple of months, we have been able to expose our staff in the different departments: procurement, engineering, finance, media and communication, HR, all of our important departments. We've been able to expose them to specific training that helps to optimize their productivity as they deliver their services, as they deliver their regular tasks and responsibilities. Additionally, we have been able to launch successfully, this is the second year, we've been able to launch an internship program under the administrative structure. And I need to make this clarification because the way how the Road Fund operate, we have an administrative structure and we also have the programs. So like I just explained, under the annual road maintenance expenditure program, those are programs that are designed by those implementing agencies and bodies. And according to the law, 1.5% of what is expense in the previous year is what is used to forecast the operational and managerial expenses of the fund. So that 1.5% is what we use to run our activity at the National Road Fund. And part of what we have been doing over the last couple of months, we realized that not only with the Road Fund, but across the government, especially with people that we work with, we realized that there is a need for our stakeholders and the people that we regularly engage with to have a certain level of understanding of what the Road Fund is, how it should operate, and those mechanisms that should be put in place for an independent body. So we have been able to do that, and we thought a need to launch the internship program to start building up the skill set of the young engineers and the young technicians that are coming out to have this experience and exposure to the road fund and road maintenance and the services that we deliver. So during the first year, we recruited about 25 young people across the country, and we have about 15 to 16 of them after the internship program. 15 to 16 of them were fortunate to land a job. So we are still working with the others, providing them with regular opportunities and different links and giving them the necessary support that they need to establish themselves. For this year, because of financial constraint, we cannot take the 25, so we have set our targets on 20.
Okay,
But
that's not bad.
all of these are done because this is our way of giving back to the people of Liberia, to the young people especially, to create different kinds of opportunities across government and the private sector for them to grow and mature. Mind you, I'm also a product of a similar program. But my program was the president's young professional program.
Okay, I
It was
think
a
I know about
program
that,
that
yeah.
was established during the leadership of Madame Soye.
Philip, I remember that.
And that was how we came into government, because quite often, young people are not given sufficient opportunities, and then even if they are very brilliant or come up top of their class, they don't have the tools that they need for the job and to deliver. So we have been successfully able to unroll that. Additionally, we have been able to engage some of our stakeholders like the World Bank and the African Development Bank for additional support.
I'm coming. I just want to know more about the stakeholders, but let me just come back a little bit.
Okay.
When I visited your office to invite you to this program, I visited almost all of the offices, and I saw a lot of young people there. And you yourself, so you also are a relatively young person. Why do you have a lot of young people around you?
Well,
Including the PRO sitting here.
yes.
Yeah.
You see, the current population of Liberia has a majority of that population, comprising of young people. I think the last time I looked at the statistic is approximately 64%. Now the figure might not be 100%. I have to check that. But we have a majority of the population are youthful.
Okay.
And this is a reflection of what the country is made of, young people. And we believe that, through the leadership of His Excellency President Joseph Yoman Boyka, to continue to give young people the opportunity to thrive. So the young people that we have at the National Road Fund, they are exceptional.
Okay.
They are very brilliant, and it is due to their innovation, their energy, the zest, and just the kind of energy that they bring to the workspace that have contributed to our success thus far. For example, like you mentioned, our media and communication director, Mr. Coker, came at the Road Fund, and he realized that there were some things that we're not doing that we needed to do. Some of the things was that we get out of the office and engage with the citizens of Liberia. We engage with the local communities that we're doing projects and other activities. So he put together a strategic plan, a media strategic plan to get us out of the office. So the last couple of months we have been engaging local communities that we're doing roads working. We've been engaging through the media, we've been engaging through other forms. And this, the more we do this, the more people get the awareness that is required. And additionally, the young people that we have, they're also from the internship program, like I stated earlier. Some of them were just really exceptional that we couldn't let them go because they came with a lot of, contribution to the fund. So we have some of them in-house that are working, also with us.
Okay.
So, it's a good
I
thing.
see, yeah.
yeah, it's a good thing to have us, at the National Road Front. This sends a strong message that the young people are capable,
Yes.
and we are willing and we are ready to lead the next generation.
Yep, I like
we are
that.
taking ownership, and we are leading diligently. We're being very purposeful and intentional about what we are doing, because everything we do here today is what we are going to live in tomorrow.
Exactly.
So the decisions we make, the impact we make, everything. So it's quite an opportunity that myself and the young people that I work with at the National Road Fund have, to sit on the decision making table when
Yeah.
decisions are being made.
You
to
know, when I
contribute
heard
to
at
that.
National Road Fund from the very beginning, when I was going there to invite you here, I expected to see a lot of old people. National Road Fund of Liberia, you know, but I was very pleased to see a lot of young people around you. Now, I have another question, but before you answer that, I'll go to the PR to tell me about his office. The next question to you is going to be the difference, to tell me the difference between you and Public Works. Because when we hear road, everybody, all of us think about Public Works. But I want to know how your job differs from that of Public Works. But before you answer that, Mr. PR, Mr. Kokia,
Yes.
I want you to tell me a little bit about your office. PR, what is it all about? Your boss lady has already started telling the public that you're not just sitting there. You have created something new. Tell us more about it.
Thank you very much, Honorable Koti, and I'm glad to be on your platform.
Thank you.
Follow the Flashpoint for a very long time,
Yeah.
and this engagement are very good. As the manager stated, we are here, so they just simply tell you that it's the office. So we are more like engaged in the play our communities, and for the community to know that the National Road Fund is not a Monrovia-based institution. And I have this mantra which states that a better Liberia is still possible. And we are engaging our different communities and ensuring that the community are taking responsibility of the projects that have been financed by the National Road Fund, and taking ownership, ensuring that the various projects are protected by the community when the projects are financed by the National Road Fund. So we are engaging them for them to have a sense of belonging for this project, and not to see that all our government things, so that misuse the property, that misuse the infrastructure that is carrying on. So we have been engaging the community, engaging the media to see how we can create this awareness and making us more accountable, because media engagement also brings about accountability and the transparency in the workings of our activity.
Yes.
So there are a couple of activities we are running at the National Road Fund. Like we have our weekly newsletter, and it's distributed among our partner. What I do is that
You're not sleeping, man.
Yeah.
I like that.
yeah, it gives the public an impression about the work that we are doing at the National Road Fund, and make us more accountable, because the National Road Fund is a public institution, and we owe it all to the people to make ourselves more accountable to them. That we don't want institution where you need to get information is difficult, and it's almost like in a dark hole, and we are shooting information.
Yeah.
That's why if you visit our website, one of the government institutions.
We have a website.
Yeah, we have a very
That sounds good.
active website. You find all of our monthly reports, whether it's technical report, our financial report, our quarterly reports, our activity, day-to-day activity is posted on our website, because we want to we owe it to the public to be accountable to them.
Yes.
Because accountability and transparency is key to public service, and that's why our manager has emphasized and stressed on that.
Yes.
Look, we have to be more accountable. There is nothing that we're doing here that we have to have. Let the public get to know what we're doing,
Yeah.
and what our function and our responsibility. Like
Especially where I have heard that the international community, I don't know how they put it, but they are talking about something like matching fund, where if you do this, they will do this and match it. But when they find out that you have a bunch of crooks or people who don't mean well, they will not come in. So accountability is important.
Yes, and all that happens when you are accountable
Yes.
to the people.
That's why you
and-
need to
and
be
That's why we're doing. That's why we are engaging not only multi-value, like I stated, the National Road Fund projects are cut across the entire the country. So we are not just focusing on Monrovia because everybody, direct or indirectly, are contributing to the field level. So we are taking the end aspect to the people, engaging the different community, getting their perspectives and opinion on the different issues in terms of the different road projects are found out by the National Road Fund. What are the issues confronting in terms of some of the road project, whether it's done properly or not, engaging and like over the past 2 weeks we were in Peace Island, Togo community, the other time we were in Grand Crew, Grand Bassor, and Bond County, and just yesterday the CEO were in Grand Bassor. So not only that, we are also engaging in different projects, ensuring value for money, validating the project, and going along, we take the press because we want the people to know what we are doing and what our activities are at the National Road Fund.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you. Madam, let's come back to you. When we hear about road, what comes to mind is public works. That's the main thing we hear. When we talk about road, we think about public works. So I want you to please tell the public how different is your job from that of public works, and how do you cooperate? But before you answer that, let's inform the public that this is Flashpoint on ELBC 99.9. And I'm David Coty. This program is a paid-for program. We like to advise the public. We're looking for sponsorship. We will ask all of you who are listening now to please follow our Flashpoint page. It's on David Coty's page. We have 5.2K already followers, or people who are following us. And so we're also going to be on Flashpoint, but before the end of the day. This is Flashpoint, but according to your Facebook thing, you need about 60 days to be incorporated so you can go live. So we'll be going live on Flashpoint directly in about a week or two from now. But right now you can follow my personal page, David Coty. We have 5.2 thousand followers. So if you work with me or Flashpoint, we're going to help you sell your business. So please, we're looking for sponsorship. We had a very serious problem here a few years ago. We don't want it to happen to us again. Well, we were booted out because we were owing $14,000. But we hope that doesn't happen again. It was really an improvement period. And Ellen Johnson said, bless our soul at that time. And she's not going to always keep blessing us here. Now, so we want you to please come and do some business with us so that we can be able to pay our bills here. Now, please tell me the difference between you and the road fund. I'm sorry, Public Works.
Well, the Ministry of Public Works was established again by a law, 1928, and their core responsibility is to do, for example, like the designing of construction works, the implementation, the supervision, as well as the maintenance of public infrastructure.
Okay.
The National Road Fund, also established by law, is responsible for the funding of road maintenance and bridge maintenance and the associated activity. So what does this mean in simple English? In simple English, it means that road fund responsibility is to source funding to support public infrastructure, especially the ones that are specific to maintenance. That is the maintenance of roads and bridges. Mind you, I think it was some part of last year or so, we started discussing about the bridge management system. This is a conversation that we have with the Ministry of Public Works, because currently we have the road fund now, we have the annual road maintenance and expenditure plan that have a process of selecting road through a data-driven process. And that data-driven process, we work through a software called the HDM4 that gives the roughness of the different roads. And based on the activities, like the social and economic activities, and sometimes, some pressing need that the roles are pre-selected through the software, and then they are uploaded to the program for the annual planning and funding activity. So we do that, and then just looking at some of our bridges across the country. Like most of the bridges, I think they were built as far back as the 1950s and the 1970s. Most of them are concrete bridges. And we realized that over a period of time, due to the prolonged civil war and all of the different activities, the disruptional activities that happen in the country, it barred the Ministry of Public Works from, sometimes doing the kinds of maintenance work that should be done with these bridges. So with the setting up of the road fund, there's some money set aside now that the Ministry of Public Works can say, okay, we have done an assessment, across the country and with the various bridges or with the different roads, and these are the roads that are priority. These are the roads that have economic implications, or these are the roads that have social benefits, and then these roads are forwarded to us in a plan, and that is later on implemented by the Ministry of Public Works, and then we do the funding. So part of the funding is through the fuel levy that we just discussed.
Yeah.
This year we are working with the Minister of Transport and his technicians to enroll a program called the Axle Load program. So by next week, we will be on the radio again with the consultant, the technician there, who will be talking more about the Axle Load program, and we'll be looking at engaging the trucker unions, the truck drivers, some of the concessions, and all of these heavy moving vehicles that ply our roads to discuss the way forward, because we intend to roll out this activity, beginning January of next year. So we need to sit down with them and discuss that.
Okay. Mr. Quokka,
Yes.
how do you intend to engage the community? This thing is a partnership thing, like you said. How do you intend to engage the community in terms of owning the road, the project?
Yes, so as part of our working, the National Road Fund, as the manager stated there, is being governed by Interministerial Steering Committee, and part of that committee that consists of 5 members on the board. The statutory member will have the Ministry of Public Works, Finance, Transport, Commerce, and Internal Affairs, and we work directly also with the Ministry of Internal Affairs that deals with the community and local county leadership. So visiting the different counties, we also work with the Ministry of Internal Affairs to ensure that we work with the different county leadership. So we work with them, whether it's community chairman, it's township, and it's different institutions. Beyond that, also we work with civil society organization and different groups. Like we're working with the Liberia Media Center for Democratic Initiative with John Colley, and wherein we had a Zimanim, other time were in Broadway, and so we are working also with the Center for Media Study and Peace Building. These different groups, they have different platforms, different audience. So we are also working with them, engaging the community and talking about the road fund, because like the board is stated, sometimes there are like some confusion. People hear the fact that they hear road fund, they think that the road sport, why road fund doing the road sport and you're not doing anything. So as part of our working, we also try to delineate our roles from the Ministry of Public Works. Now that we are not taking responsibility or trying to distance ourselves from the Ministry of Public Works, we want to also say that this is our role and this is our responsibility.
And your limit. This is your limit.
This is our limit. We don't get in the actual execution of these different projects. We are just there to finance a road project based on the annual road maintenance expenditure program that is being signed. So that is also part of our working, and try to change the public perception about the National Road Fund. all the time, like all the state, they all government money, that is deposited in considered their account all the past, and there were some issues that absolutely not related to the road fund, but people try to bring that invasion. So how to disabuse the public mind about the issue about accountability? That's why we are emphasizing in terms of accountability and transparency to the people. So if you get to our website, you see all of our information, our quarterly.
That sounds good.
Our quarterly financial information, and then send to our different partners. So as to ensure that people don't create a kind of perception that that government thing, the people then misusing the
And
money.
people will not speculate.
Yeah, people will not.
Because you're already proactive. I mean, your website and this, that sounds good.
Yeah, but we have a very active website that is very user friendly. You go there now, you see a lot of information that are available. But we're also glad that we also, starting to have this relationship with you, this partnership, and using your platform to be able to communicate with our people, to talk more about the road fund and our different workers. The road fund is just became operational in 2018, and not many people know about the road fund across the country. That's why we are accelerating our working, our activity, and telling them, oh yes, not many people know about the different projects, and we start to name some of the projects around and say, oh, but then the road fund is really working. So.
Thank you. We'll take a short break in a few minutes from now. Normally we have our discussion for 30 minutes, and then we give the public the chance to call in for 15 minutes, and then we'll go back to our guests for the last 15 minutes to respond. I hope there will be calls today, like we normally have calls when we have the medical people here. Most of my guests there are medical practitioners from out of the GFK, Jamali, and so on. Many people coming from the medical area. So we hope to get some calls today. Those of you who have some, I heard one funny thing the other time when they were here on another show about you're only 5 over there. And how do you know that just 5 there? I visited the office and I saw what I saw. So you don't just sit and talk because you want to talk. Know what you're talking about. And one good thing I'm happy about is you're talking about accountability. And you have emphasized this over and over, and that sounds good. This is a problem we have in the country. Most leaders don't have interest in the country but their pockets. That's why we have the problem. In fact, the main reason, I don't want to preach politics here today, but one of the main reasons for the war, I'm a politician, so we're going to catch it small. Yes, one of the main reasons for the war in this country, the 14 years of war, fortunately for me, I attended 2 peace conferences. I led my party to Abuja for a peace conference in 2000. And I also led my party to Ghana in 2003 for the peace talk. So I will talk about politics a little bit. One of the main reasons why we have problem in this country is unequal distribution and corruption. So to hear your entity emphasizing accountability, emphasizing that even your activities for national days and that is on the website. That sounds good.
So even in addition to that, the last quarter of the RAA report also flagged the National Road Fund as one of the institutions that is compliant in terms of following the internal processes.
Yeah, with all of those young people you got there, you're working like that, man. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. You are young in age and faces, but not in mind. I like that. Okay, let's take a short break, and when we come back, the numbers you're going to call to participate will be 0777 511 977, 0886 511 977. I repeat, 0777 511 977 or 0886 511 977. Those are numbers you can call to ask any question. But let the questions be related to what we're talking here. Thank you very much, and let's take a short break.